Let's do it. We're Miami Dolphins.
The pressure, he's in trouble. Loses the football. Touchdown. Got it.
You have got to be kidding me.
Jaylen Waddle. It's a Dolphin touchdown.
Throwing deep upfield on the near side. Man open. Touchdown. Looking deep. He's got a man. Touchdown.
The run from Tua Tagovailoa.
Touchdown.
He's going deep. He's got it for the touchdown. Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go!
What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. And we're back here on this Monday for another one with the shout out to the homie Rhino Sith out here, just dropping it like it's hot, coming in. And shout out to you, my friend, for coming through. And this man gifted 5 memberships. So you already know what time it is. It's all day. Shout out to the God of the Mod Squad, Rhino Sith. Hope you doing good, homie. Hope you having a fantastic day. Is it August yet? Not yet, but we getting there. We getting there. Let's just get to the end of July when training camp starts. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get there. So, shout out to Rhino Sith for showing the love, supporting the channel. You already know what time it is. Thank you very much, Rhino. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got to go in depth on the Tyreek Hill thing. First of all, shout out to homie John. He's been helping me with this last 2 or 3 thumbnails just because, you know, my guy's out of town. He's coming back tonight. So shout out to John for being a huge help, helping me out with these thumbnails. Today's episode 777. And it's funny, I was thinking about, you know, Vegas theme earlier, but today was just a hectic day. My daughter had a double ear infection. It was just, I was wiped from last night. It was just not a good day. And, man, without even saying anything, John cooked something up and did a little 777, lucky sevens. So I appreciate him for coming through and helping out. Hey, man, shout out to Knight. Knight says, I ain't going to be outdone. And Knight has gifted a Phinside The NFL membership. And Findaholics got that. So shout out to you and thank you, Knight. I appreciate that very, very much. Good sir. We got a lot to talk about because, you know, we're going to go into Tyreek Hill a little bit in depth here. And as everyone knows, my story and what I was told has lined up almost identically with Andy Slater's. And I'm going to play about a 12-minute clip. And it's from Andy Slater's podcast on Fox Radio, Fox 640. And he goes into depth about everything. We're going to go into that because there's a lot of misinformation being spewed by people with agendas, people who are Patriot, Brady, and Cowboy fans fronting like they're actual Dolphin fans who I already nuked on Twitter. You know, people out here who buy subs and who buy Twitter followers that are fronting like, Dolphin fans. They're all out here trying to play the boogeyman and scare all of y'all about this Tyreek Hill thing. Sure, is it serious? 110%. But, I mean, these people, you would think Tyreek Hill just went on a killing spree at a shopping mall, the way these people are acting out here. So we're going to get into all of that stuff. And there's a key thing that he says that might verify one of the key details that I'm the only one who have put out there. And, you know, I saw someone defending me in the comments, you know, and defending some of the stuff I said. And one of these people coming back and being like, you know, oh yeah, connected. Listen, just because I have a better track record and have legitimately proven time and time again that I am plugged in here due to my track record, you know, I was I was having stuff 6 to 8 months before Barry Jackson was going out and verifying it on Twitter and in articles when it comes to the Tua Flores thing. So while these people were out here faking whatever they were faking, I was out here getting stuff right behind the scenes. So don't be mad at me that I got a track record, and just like y'all credibility, you got none. So don't be mad at me, okay? So that's it. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Don't be mad at me because I'm right a lot more than all of y'all, okay? Whether it be projection or from a plug. Don't be mad at me, all right? That I got a knack for this and y'all don't. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The second thing I'm going to say is Andy Slater is one of the best in the business, and he's been on all over this. And his stuff is lining up identical with someone who I told y'all Doc's there and has spoken to the Doc Master. Okay? Boots on the ground, baby. All right? Man, I tell y'all, all of y'all living down in South Florida, be thankful Reason doesn't have dual citizenship, because I would have put y'all out of business probably about 2 years ago. Just be happy I don't have dual citizenship, because if that day ever comes, good luck to y'all. And we just sold our 2 spots down in Orlando. Don't fret, though. We're looking for a new spot. But, y'all better be thankful I ain't living down there. I'm all the way up here north of the border, and I still do what I do a lot better than most of you. So, sorry. I'm just sitting here reading some of these people, what they got to say, and I'm just blown away. So, listen, I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to ease you. I'm here to give you the facts, and that's all we've been giving you with the Tyreek Hill situation, and that's what we will continue to give you tonight with the Tyreek Hill situation. Okay? Nothing but facts. All right? I've said from the get-go, because you got people out here, they're implying, they're even not even using the words allegedly, but they're out here implying he's guilty. You got people out here in this community. I said this before on the last rant, so I'm not going to go deep into it here. But you got people in this community, all right? Some of the same people who said Dolphin fans were jumping the gun on Deshaun Watson, some of the same people, now they are jumping the gun on Tyreek Hill, one of their own. Hypocrites. Surrounded by them. Jokers to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. All of you, all right? We got jokers around us. But we're going to live out the facts, all right? Because that's what we do over here when, like I've said, what have I said? Even if the footage comes out, we still don't have 100% of the context of the story. Unless that footage is about to come out with audio connected to it, we don't know. It's still video, but with a he says, she says, as why someone was smacked in the back of the head. And then, the guy's 57 years old. And now people are trying to act like, oh my God, he's 57. Oh, he's beat. First of all, senior citizen is 65 and older. That's number one, okay? Let's stop. And number two, I could name some 57-year-olds that I knew growing up that'd be able to kick the crap out of a bunch of these people who are making these big deals about Tyreek, okay? So let's not act like there aren't 57-year-olds out there who can throw down and who aren't big. Oh, what? We don't even know this guy's name. Y'all don't even know. This guy could be 6'5", 280, 290 pounds, just outweighing Tyreek. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, sure. And then on the flip side, he could be 5'11", 200 pounds. On the flip side, sure. But y'all don't know the situation, but y'all coming out here and acting like y'all know. All the information hasn't been made public. But some of y'all are out here who I know are not plugged because, listen, there's people in this community that I hear things that come through the grapevine down to me. Oh, Reason, so-and-so saying this. What, did you hear this? Yo, Reason, I heard this from this person. Did you hear this? People literally call me to verify shit they hear from people in this community privately. And 98% of the time, 99% of the time, nah, man, I didn't hear that. And that goes from people who own platforms all the way to people who don't. Okay? But now all of a sudden, these people know everything that's going on? Stop. At least I told you the context of where I'm getting my information from. Someone who docks 2 boats at the marina, lives by the marina, and speaks directly to the dock master. I'm just not giving y'all names, but I'm giving you the context of how this person knows what they know and what they're relaying to me. These other people, what? They're just picking stuff out of the air. So, listen, I've said from day one, Roger Goodell is who I'm worried about. Roger Goodell is who I'm worried about. Okay? This has already come out. The police have finished their portion of the investigation. They've reviewed the tape. This is now at the state of, what is it? It's at the state attorney's office right now being reviewed. So the police have finished their portion of the investigation. Right? They've watched the video. They've gotten the statements. So we're going to get into all that, because, like, let's let me ask you this, and let me say, we know that he picked a 57-year-old that doesn't fight back. If someone was making $30 million this year, don't matter whether you're 57, 27, 37, or 47, someone that makes $30 million a year, they smack you in the back of the head, what are you going to do? Listen, there's probably about 10 or 15% of the public that'll actually throw down. There's actually a small portion. The rest of the portion will be cha-ching. And on top of that, what did the reports also say? Even after the smack, the person, right? Because still we've gotten conflicting reports about whether it's Tyreek or someone in his crew. But anyways, let's say it's Tyreek Hill. He had to be restrained. So what? I keep going back to this. Am I the only grown man out here? Am I the only grown man out here who stands up for what they believe in? Because I know for me to be restrained by friends or people I'm with, a line has to be crossed. I mean, I'm not just going to go over here and Tyreek Hill, we're not talking about a guy every offseason, he's getting into a fight at the club, blah, 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 blah. We're not talking about a guy who's, you've got a couple incidences you're going to pick and choose at. But we're not talking about a guy who, like, yearly we're dealing with something, or multiple times a year we're dealing with something about that. I'm telling y'all, a line was crossed. I have reported what I have reported as to what was crossed. I was told there were some racial undertones. It went there. And that is why the physical and the restraining, that's what I was told. Now, this is also the same, again, told by the same person who everything's lining up with what Andy Slater said. So, and when I play this clip, y'all going to hear Andy Slater says something very interesting. He says, and I quote, "Something was said." He says that. He says, something was said. So, listen. And again, all this can go, I guarantee you all this can go away with money. I guarantee you this could all go away with money. 110%. If it was something bigger, then it wouldn't go away with money. But right now, no charges have been pressed, so it's in flux. He went from didn't want to potentially wanting to. Clearly, someone probably got into his ear. I don't know. So, that's that. Upside, the NFL usually takes 10 months. I talked about this on the last show. If something comes down, I don't think it's coming down this year. I really don't. But let's lighten the situation here, because your boy went to Forbidden Door yesterday, all right? You want to know how good the seats were? Shout out to the wife. Shout out to my kids. It was my Father's Day gift. I mean, if you got me blaring right now, you might want to turn it down a little bit. But this is where your boy was sitting yesterday at Forbidden Door. Check this one out. I'm the only one cheering everyone who they're booing too. Let's go. I got the girl next to me and start cheering for him too. All about the heels, baby. And dude, when he turned around and that says New Japan is an indie fed, oh my God. And then watch this. This is beautiful right here. This is us walking into Buffalo right now. Ready? Here's us walking into Buffalo. Gives him the old Brian Cox. Throws up the middle birds. Love it. Beautiful. Man, great time yesterday. Great time yesterday. That Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay match, even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you need to watch that. Because I was present for probably one of the greatest matches of the last decade or 20 years yesterday. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega. So, hey, man, I know I got a lot of wrestling fans that watch here. It was a fantastic time. 5 hours of wrestling from 7 till we didn't get out till about 10 after 12. So great time. That's actually why I didn't do an episode of 3 Takes. I was just I had so much going on. So man, it was awesome time. Whew. And now hopefully we can one up that endeavor this year. I'm aiming for Monday Night Football, Titans and Dolphins, but I'm holding off on announcing a second game because I'm hoping we have a home game in the playoffs. And if we have a home game in the playoffs, listen, I appreciate all of you that come out and watch me every Sunday and live react, but your boy might need to go down to Miami this year if we're playing at home in the playoffs. I'm sorry. I might have to. Take it easy, Rhino. Have a good night. Have a good night, sir. So, yeah, I'm going to, I might have to come down. If we make, I think we're going to have a home playoff game. I really do. And I got to come. I got to come to that. I'm sorry. I got to come to that. But I am eyeing, for the regular season, I am eyeing that Titans game. Monday Night Football, I want to be there at night. Plus, I might be able to get to see, everyone knows I'm a Will Levis guy. I might be able to get to see Tua Tagovailoa versus Will Levis, a.k.a. Tua Tagovailoa and our defense beat the brakes off Will Levis, but still, you know what I mean? Or I get to see Tannehill come back for his first time at the Rock since we traded him. Either way, win-win. So that's what I'm planning. So, and I'm holding off on maybe a home playoff game. I really am. So, because I believe we're going there. Anyways, let's get into this. We got some stuff to go over. So, I am going to play this. All right, we got about 12 minutes here. All right, let's go. This is Andy Slater on the whole Tyreek Hill situation. This is from his weekday podcast on Fox 640, I believe, Fox Sports 640. Let's get into this.
And I'm getting all of these details. I'm there on my phone. I'm talking to sources in the know, like in the no. And that's KNOW, not NO. I'm finding out all of these details about the alleged Tyreek Hill incident. And look, I got no horse in this race. I'm just reporting. Tyreek's a great player. He's an exciting player. I love watching him, but I'm just talking about facts here. I want to know, did Tyreek do something or did he not? And what is the alleged victim going to do? All I care about when it comes to any of this stuff is one thing, getting it right.
Exactly.
I check and double check and triple check. I put everything aside when I'm working on a scoop. And I'm talking about everything aside. When you hear or see
Slater's Scoop,
I'm not clout chasing. I'm not clickbaiting. In fact, there's not even a link to click on. I'm just fact gathering. That's the beginning, middle, and end of the story.
Yeah.
So here's the case of Tyreek Hill. And my apologies if you're new to the show right now and you're like, Andy, get to the freaking details. I'm sorry. I'm talking about fun things. I'm in the jacuzzi. I'm here in Medellin. I'm working. I'm enjoying what I do. I love my job. So my apologies. If you want to tweet me things, get to the point, go ahead. Whatever you want to do.
I had to include that.
So Tyreek Hill allegedly has this encounter with an employee at the charter boat company. Mm-hmm. Part of his crew went to board a boat,
which is exactly what I said.
That they were not supposed to be on.
That's exactly what I told all.
And I reported this 2 days ago. Other reports,
Right.
oh, the argument was about tarpon fishing off the pier.
See?
That was never even stated in the police report.
There you
Again,
go.
I'm tweeting details.
And I told y'all I didn't hear that
information
either.
24 hours before, oh, hey, we're this news station and we have these details from the police report, and it's the same details that I gave you 24 hours ago. And the same thing's going to happen today. So I find out that Tyreek and his crew are all involved in this, and the captain essentially told his crew, hey, get off the boat. One of the captain's employees, someone who works with the captain, got involved, may have said something.
Right there, may have said
and
something.
then allegedly Tyreek Hill slapped this guy
See?
on the back of the head.
Something was said. That's why he
What
slapped
happens
him.
after that? Well, as I said in my tweets, from what my sources were telling me on the ground, the alleged victim, and I pause here because I got to be very careful with, alleged and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The alleged victim at that point in time did not want to press charges. And that's exactly what I said. That's what I tweeted on Tuesday. The alleged victim does not want to press charges at this time. I know things can change. We all know things can change for various reasons. So I put that information out there, and then a day later, which is yesterday, everyone else gets the information about, oh, it all started from boarding a boat. Then yesterday, which is what everyone will be finding out today, if you haven't already, yesterday I get more information. And that's why I tweeted what I did. Tyreek Hill, according to employees at the boat company, said to them, hey, I'm number 10 on the Miami Dolphins, and I can buy you and this boat. Where did I get that information from that nobody else has had? Why are people going to be 24 hours behind what I have already reported? Because I've got sources who I trust very well. And they're very good. And they know what's gone on. See, Miami-Dade police, and this is where everything has gotten confusing today. Not to me. Hasn't been confusing to me at all, but it's been confusing if you're watching the news. And look, we all watch the news. Or you're reading things online. You're hearing all these different reports. Why are you hearing that the Tyreek Hill investigation is not over yet when I said it is over? Well, you're hearing that because media outlets reached out to Miami-Dade police last night and got a quote from one of their public information officers who's doing a fine job. I mean, that's his job. And that public information officer is saying that my report is not accurate. The public information officer has to say that. Because officially, okay, paperwork-wise, I'm not dealing with paperwork. When you deal with paperwork, that's when it's already official. When I know things beforehand, I don't have to deal with paperwork. I don't have to wait until there's a signature on it to tell you this is what somebody told cops, because I know what's going to be there. But as a public information officer, as somebody who works for the Miami-Dade Police Department, not me, but somebody who does work there, no, I don't work for them, they cannot say their investigation is over because there's still another report that needs to be sent out. But when you have, and this is normal, when you have an incident, it's going to be investigated. A detective goes out there to do the investigation. In this case, at least one detective went out there to do an investigation. That detective spoke to the witnesses, spoke to the people, got all of the information. I tweeted out some of that information yesterday. Nobody else has that information. But once the detective is done with all of that, they're done investigating. That's it. The investigation is over. And that is exactly what I tweeted. Word for word, my tweet. The Tyreek Hill police investigation is over, sources say. Cops told the alleged victim he would have to go to the state attorney's office if he decides to pursue criminal charges. But that's it. The detective and the police department, they've done their work. They're finished with the investigation. We're talking about here, we're not talking about a murder. We're talking about somebody allegedly getting slapped on the back of the head. How long do you think that investigation takes? They've got video. They saw video. Whether the video is clear or not, that I don't know. They spoke to the witnesses. They spoke to the alleged victim. They saw video. What more do we need here in this investigation? The detective finished the investigation. The police side of the investigation is over and done with, and that was yesterday. Then you get that quote coming out because the second report has not been released yet. I know the details, but it hasn't been released. So then you get the police department saying, oh, no, the investigation's not over. That report that Slater had is not accurate, but it is accurate. Okay, I know what I'm talking about here. Now, can Tyreek Hill be charged? Absolutely. And I never said from the get-go that he couldn't be charged. But it's going to have to be the state attorney's office that the alleged victim deals with. Mm-hmm. And then the state attorney is going to have to look at everything and say, do we have enough here? And then the alleged victim is going to say, okay, yes, I want charges pressed. And if the state attorney says, okay, well, we've got something here, then, yeah, there can be charges. But all I said is the police investigation is over. And that's 100% correct. The police part of the investigation is over. Really, all you have to do, if you put, and I'm not telling you to do this, but if you put every other story that you've seen aside and you only read what I've tweeted, you would know exactly what's going on. Right from the get-go, you would know what's going on. I never mentioned this all started because of tarpon fishing. Mm-hmm. Other people mentioned that. The police never even heard that.
There you go.
It was never mentioned at all. It was all about boarding a boat, like I said from the get-go. And everything I'm telling you now and everything that I tweeted yesterday will be heard about at some point very soon, if it's not already getting out there. At the time, the guy didn't want to press charges. Then he starts talking to police. I don't know who he talks to. But the police department finished their investigation. And that's it. There's nothing more for them to investigate. That's why I said the investigation is over with. I didn't say, oh, the case is closed. Tyreek will not be charged at all by anybody. Yeah. I never said that.
Yeah.
People take things out of context. They say whatever they want. And look, we're dealing with a star here. I hope I provided you some new information and some better understanding. If I didn't there in those last 15 minutes, then accept my apology. And I know even if I did, some of you will say, oh, that was nothing new. Why did you make me tune in? But my goal, and I'm not taking my words back here, my goal was to make this timeline and story a bit more clear as to why others are saying this incident has been so murky. Like the Miami Herald said yesterday, details are so murky. They're only murky because other people have been saying things that are just not true, factually not true.
Yep.
I know some people have to say things like officials. They can't say something official until something is official, but I can provide you details from sources before things are actually official.
So, basically, again, he's describing the whole situation. And again, everything lines up with the only thing I didn't have was the whole, money thing. I own you, but look at what he's like. I can buy you. But, that's exactly what I reported, that I was told by someone who docks there that they boarded the wrong crew. An employee from a charter company approached them. Argument ensued. Now, he said something. If you look at the timeline, what happened was this. Something was said, right? And then that's when Tyreek smacked the guy in the back of the head. And then when he charged him, that was also after the smack. So, again, like, we got to get the whole context of the situation. What was said? What sent Tyreek off, right? Because even, it seems like even, by his timeline and the way he lines things up, the whole, I'm number 10 for the Miami Dolphins, I can buy you in this yacht. That was said after the slap, too. That was said after the slap. That was not said before the slap. So let's start putting things together. Even he says something was said. Tyreek Hill slapped him, had to be restrained, and then somewhere at the point after all of that went down, he said, I'm number 10 for the Miami Dolphins. I can buy you in this yacht. Why all of a sudden is he boasting about his financial capabilities? Something was clearly said. Why'd he slap him and have to get restrained? All the grown men here in the chat, something was said. Look at yourself. What has to say for someone to take you to that place? So, especially with those many witnesses around. But anyways, Andy Slater basically saying exactly what I've been reporting. When the Tarpon stuff came out about him fishing in a spot he's on, I said that wasn't what I heard. What did I say? I said what I heard was there was a disagreement because they boarded the wrong boat and they were told to get and they boarded the wrong boat and it escalated from there. That's the first thing I reported. You can go back to the night this news all broke, and I read verbatim to all of y'all what I was exactly, the information I was given. And it lines up exactly with what Andy Slater said. Like, the only thing there's only two differences me and him have. All right? I think one of the two main differences are this. I've heard there was racial undertones from the employee. That's what set Tyreek off. And then the whole yacht, I can buy you, I'm number 10 for the Dolphins. He heard that, and he's the first person I've heard that from. So, I don't know. But listen, why does this matter? Why are we still talking about this? Because we need to know the context of this whole situation so we can get a grasp of what's going to go down with the NFL. That's what this is all about. I keep telling all of y'all, I think this is going to have to get to a civil suit if this guy is going to do anything. I don't think there's going to be criminal stuff coming from this. I mean, sure, there could be something misdemeanor, but I think it might go to a civil spot or get settled. But it's all about what the NFL, he could get a misdemeanor slap on a wrist, but the NFL could come out here and give him freaking 6 games. We all saw what went down with Zeke Elliott. I don't know. That's why I keep talking about this story from an NFL standpoint, okay? From a Dolphin standpoint, we got a lot riding on this year and this player. You know what I mean? Is this situation going to cost the Dolphins? That's where I'm coming from here, okay? And that's why we're going to continue to provide updates and provide the facts, because the more information we have, the more fact gathering we do, the better grasp we're going to have on what the outcome may be of this whole situation. So that's that. And the Sun Sentinel, just continuing on there for a sec here. The Sun Sentinel, Miami Dolphins Tyreek Hill alleged assault under state attorney's office review, which is what Andy said it was going to go. A week after Miami Dolphin star Tyreek Hill was allegedly involved in an argument at the Hallover Marina with a fishing charter company employee who was slapped, police have turned their investigation over to the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. Detective Angel Rodriguez, a spokesperson for Miami-Dade Police, provided no new additional information on the incident that happened on Father's Day evening. Ed Griffin, a spokesperson for the state attorney's office, said in an email that they had received what appears to be a majority of the investigative materials from the police as of Monday. After all the evidence has been received and all witnesses have been interviewed and a sworn statement taken, then the evaluation of all evidence can be undertaken in light of the requirements of Florida's criminal status. Miami-Dade police released a report last week detailing the alleged assault, which was recorded by surveillance cameras at the marina shortly before 7 p.m. So there you go. That's where my guy screwed up. My guy who texted me, I said 7 a.m., but obviously it was 7 p.m., right? That was the other little thing that I had that was wrong. I was told 7, and I assumed 7 a.m., but it was 7 p.m., right? So I got the A wrong, and it should have been a P. So there you go. But I did have I had the 7. So I had the exact same time, basically. There's just a miscommunication on the PM to the AM from my report as well. The Sun-Sentinel obtained the report through a public records request for the report involving Hill, but the report does not name Hill. The suspect who fled is listed as unknown in the report. An employee of the Kelly Fishing Fleet, which operates out of the Bill Bird Marina at 10800 Collins Avenue, saw 2 women who were on a charter boat without permission. The report said the employee told his boat captain, and the 2 went outside to tell the women to get off. A verbal argument between the women, a group of men they were with, and the Kelly Fishing Fleet employees ensued. And the suspect slapped the charter boat employee on the back of his neck, according to the report. The suspect then charged at the employee, but several people held him back. He then took off in unknown means and direction. The report said the victim did not have visible injuries when officers went to the marina to investigate. So he's not injured. There's no bruising. There's not even a red mark. There's literally not even a red mark. There's literally not even a red mark. So, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. This is... we got so many positive things happening. Who thought we'd be dealing with something like this, man? And you know, I just got to say, man, again, charging and then storming off after. What the hell got the blood boiling so hard? I want to know the context of the situation. Video ain't enough. I mean, let's go back to the World Cup. Way back, France, Italy. When Zidane headbutted the Italian player. We didn't know what was said. Zidane, you would have never thought he'd do something like that. Then it comes out the stuff this guy was saying about his wife and mother on the field. And it crossed a massive line. And sure, it wasn't the right... Listen, no one is justifying or saying it's right. Listen, you know, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So no one's sitting out here saying... justifying it. But what I will say is, as a man, as a grown man who has a wife and two daughters, you know, again, I've said this before, as part of an interracial marriage, if someone says something that crosses a line with any of those things, yeah, I'm going to go 0 to 100 real quick. And we know this argument, it started with, you know, the employees and the females, and it escalated from there. So, again, I'm not justifying a single thing here. But what I am saying is, if things were said that, you know, and they line up with what I was told was said, listen, I'm not justifying it, but I would understand why he did what he did. You know, call me whatever you want to call me, but I would understand. Right? If these people got racist with him and were getting derogatory with the women on the boat, I would understand why Tyreek smacked the guy in the back of the head and charged him. I would understand. Not saying he was right, but I would understand. So, whatever. We got to, again, this whole thing will play out. We'll continue to talk about the facts. And, you know, that's all we can do. Let the judicial process take its course. The police are done their portion of the investigation. Now the state attorney's office is going to decide if there's even anything, if there's enough to even press charges from a criminal standpoint. I mean, this should show you this is not an open, there is clearly nothing absolutely damning on this video. I think we can all agree here. There's nothing crazily damning here because the charges, he would have had bruising, he would have had marks, and the charges would have already been filed. It wouldn't have been going to the state attorneys. Oh, is there enough here to charge? Is there enough to move forward if he wants to press charges? No. This is... Now, again, that's why people are throwing the word misdemeanor around, because if it does get to that point, it's going to be something small, right? This is not, again, what it is. We're not dealing with someone who murdered someone, all right? So people need to relax out here. So, and it's out. They viewed the video. And they didn't rush to put cuffs on Tyreek. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure, Drew Rosenhaus is eventually going to have to, say something, right? He was asked on South Florida TV station WSVN on Sunday night, point blank, how concerned he was that charges could be filed against the Miami Dolphins wide receiver, and Rosenhaus basically said that, he couldn't talk about it because it's ongoing. Let's just call it ongoing, and he hasn't commented. A lot of people have reached out, and he just said, we decided not to say anything at this time, and we're just going to stick with that for now. So, he said it was an ongoing situation instead of investigation, so I don't know if that means anything. And we're almost like a week removed from this now. Right? Aren't we like a week removed from this now? So, we'll see. We'll see how it all rolls out, right? And people hear 57, always 57. First of all, to be a senior, you got to be 65 and older. Let's not act like this is some decrepit, fragile old man. We don't even know the guy's name. You can't even size him up. Again, wait for all the facts to come out. Jesus. It's unbelievable how everyone's so quick to jump to conclusions here. So... And we're still in a reporting phase, if you think about it, right? We are still in a reporting phase. So, anyways, let's switch it up here. Guys, Cook's agent teasing the Miami Dolphins. Let's check it out.
Someone in our newsroom was saying, I wouldn't hate Dalvin in a Dolphins uniform. So what are the chances we could see him end up back here in South Florida?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like you said, right, he's looking for a team that's in the win now mode and wants to go all the way, wants to win a Super Bowl. Playing in South Florida, he's definitely put up some pretty great numbers every time he seems to play in the state of Florida, and then even in that stadium in particular. He did definitely miss out on the experience of playing for his hometown team when it came to college, and I know he always kind of felt like that was where he was supposed to play. So that definitely has been in the back of his mind his entire football career. And then, just going back to as far as like the entire process of people reaching out, outside of just the teams, it's really incredible to see all the love on social media and the fans. And, that really, really is important as well.
So, I mean, Dalvin's dreamed of playing here since FSU. And, this guy knows Zach Hiller, shout out to you. You're pushing the right buttons, getting Dolphin fans all worked up and all amped up. We know he wants to be here. And I've said that we got to come up to around $7 million, give or take $1 million. That's going to be the magic number. Between 6 to 8. That's your magic number. Are we going to come up to that? I think it's possible. I really do as we get closer to camp, but it's not helping that the running backs are all banding together looking for change in how guys are getting paid because, I think it's just going to prolong the inevitable that it's not going to work out in their favor like they expected to. But Zach Hiller, he just continues to tease. So, and it gets now, this is what I mean, this is what Fowler's reporting. But we go over here, and Jeremy Fowler, free agent running back Dalvin Cook, is garnering significant interest, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Fowler reported Sunday on SportsCenter the AFC East could be the 4-time Pro Bowler's eventual landing zone. You got the Dolphins. He's been linked to them. Teams I've talked to believe he wants to play in Miami potentially. The Jets have injuries at running back. The Patriots just cut James Robinson. They could have a need. So could be some action up there east. Now, all of a sudden, I see everyone's getting into now the Patriots are involved. And listen, my whole takeaway with this is, if the Patriots didn't land D-Hop, you knew they were going to have money to throw around. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I've been told they're going to have to blow Cook away in New York because he wants to come to Miami over New York. But New York's in a position to contend right now far better than the Patriots are. I don't see Dalvin Cook taking money to go New England to play for that shit show right now. I just don't see that happening. That just does not seem like it would be in the cards. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think still us or the Jets probably make the most sense right now because teams like Denver and all these other teams, they can't offer the kind of money we can offer right now. And what shocked me, I'm not so much as shocked that they haven't finished. I'm shocked that we haven't added a nose tackle body. I'm surprised we haven't added some interior defensive line help. That's where I'm at. And secondly, I'm more shocked we haven't added an interior linebacker than I am we haven't finished Cook. When all this started to play out after he got released, and you saw the comments come out from Josh Jacobs and Saquon, we knew this was going to drag out. We talked about it on the channel that, they have till July 16th or July 17th to sign the franchise tags. And if they don't, they can get rescinded. So, and like I said, I think Saquon gets it done. I don't know about Josh Jacobs. And if Josh Jacobs gets his franchise tag rescinded, that's not good for Dalvin Cook at all. Because all of a sudden, Josh Jacobs, look at the year he had last year, and that adds another big name. And we've already got Kareem Hunt out there. I'm not going to vouch for Zeke Elliott, but Zeke Elliott's out there. There's still guys that are out there right now. So, it's just going to continue to dilute that market. Shocking thing to me, if you didn't see it, an ESPN analyst who is a known New York Jets fan, look what he says about the Miami Dolphins. Greenberg, we got you in 4K.
Look, I have to admit one thing. I said this on the radio with Diana yesterday, and Lewis, I'll say it to you. If you told me right now that Tua was going to be healthy the entire season, I think they're the best team in the AFC. Inclusive of everyone, including the defending champs and Cincinnati and everybody else. I don't know that people pay as much. They've got Bradley Chubb and Jalen Ramsey. They have 2 number 1 corners. They've got an Olympic track team in their wide receiver room. The questions around the quarterback are so real and so significant, Lewis. That's what gives me pause. Outside of that, I think they're the best team of anybody.
Did Greenberg just admit we're the best team in the AFC, not just the AFC East? Did he just admit that? Did my eyes deceive me? It's like pulling teeth to get these people to admit the truth, huh? But, this is why they don't want us to have Dalvin Cook. These are why they don't want to see us continue to upgrade this squad, because these people already realize. This is why they keep harping on Tua and injury prone, because these people are clinging to the hopes of failure because there's few remaining now. Listen, if we were the nicest duvet on the planet, there's only one thread you could potentially yank on. And what you don't know, if you yank on that Tua thread this year, is it going to unravel everything? Or is that thread, if you yank on it, just going to come out and it's not attached to anything and he stays healthy all year? You don't know what you're going to get. Is he going to get hurt and unravel anything? Or are you going to yank on that thread and there was nothing to be worried about to begin with and he stays healthy this year? You don't know. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this, and I would probably say this even if it wasn't Tua Tagovailoa. Athletes, football, hockey, baseball, basketball, whatever you watch, and this is both a cautionary tale, but also a tale of hope, right? Usually in contract years, a lot of these people stay healthy. When the bag's got to come down the pipeline, everything lines up and they stay healthy. Is that going to be Tua for this year and next to get that next big bag? He might not even have to wait till next year. If he plays at an MVP level this year, they'll extend him right away in this offseason. So, take that as a cautionary tale and take that as a tale of hope, because it can be both. Right? Cautionary from the standpoint of, hey, let's see him healthy and maybe one more year before we give him that bag, or hopeful of maybe he's turned that a corner and he's got everything right, he's got his body right, and he's going to stay healthy from here on out. Because remember, Tua came into this league while guys were studying playbooks, getting their body NFL ready. He was trying to get his body just good enough to get on the field. He didn't start transforming and start working on his NFL body till really 2021, because the offseason after the 2020-2021 season was about stabilizing everything and getting healthy enough. And then after the 2021-2022 season, that's when it was, okay, let's transform this body. Let's get it to an NFL body. That injury put him physically behind the curve. That's what people seem to forget. Put him behind the curve with the playbooks, which he's obviously caught up with. We're good now. And now he's catching up physically with everyone. That's why we keep seeing more zip getting gained every year and more velocity getting gained every year on the footballs he's throwing. So, and you're seeing him get bigger and bigger every year, pause. Right? So, just had to throw that one out there. I had to let y'all know what the deal is on that, right? So, and man, we've been showing the videos over and over again. Let's just keep being blown away. Jaylen Waddle's footwork, man. Look at this, man.
Good. Yep. Let's
I
work
can
it.
see the ankle being
Good.
broken.
Good.
Let's go.
Yep. Good. And you go. I like it.
Ooh, look at that crisp cut. Ooh. Ooh, after the hard step, that crisp cut. Oh. My Lord. When you got a wide receiver 1 as your wide receiver 2, life is good, man. Life is good. That's all I know to say. Man, that is impressive. And shout out to Dolphins fans across the Twitterverse and the internet. If you didn't see it, this is the all NFL fans voted through PFN, and these were the brackets they voted on for this year. These were voted on by viewers and readers of Pro Football Network, and this is how they foresaw the playoffs going. Obviously, they see the Bills still winning the division, but they got us beating Jacksonville, Kansas City in the second round, a Burrow. Look at this. Look at that. Tua would go through Lawrence, Mahomes, and Burrow, and then finish it off against either Purdy, Lance, or Sam Darnold. Let me tell you this. If Tua Tagovailoa won us a Super Bowl and along the way knocked off Trevor Lawrence, killed the Clemson narrative, knocked off the defending champions, Patrick Mahomes, then comes through and beats Joe Burrow, gets him back for the LSU, and then we go in and we beat the innovator, one of the innovators of our offense, Kyle Shanahan, at his own game. My God, what a run this would be. This is the picture-perfect run to the Super Bowl right here. This would be the dream scenario for the Dolphins. Do you know how many freaking narratives would be killed along the way? People would be shutting down YouTube channels and Twitter accounts right after the Super Bowl. They might even shut them down after the AFC Championship. Over 400 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Talk about a dream scenario. I want to beat every one of those teams on the way to the championship. Let's go. Man, let me tell you this. If you go off and you beat the Jags, because I think the Jags are going to be better this year when they get Calvin Ridley. You go off and you beat the Jags. You beat the defending champion Chiefs. Then you beat the Bengals. Bro, I wouldn't care who the NFC decides to throw at me in the championship, in the Super Bowl. We'd already be tried, tested, and true, man. Man, I'm going to tell you this. Just the thought of the Dolphins finishing the job that the Panthers and the Heat couldn't do makes your spine tingle, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You know, makes your hair stand on its end. Because we've been waiting for this. Listen, there's not many other fan bases in the NFL that can just say they deserve a championship as much or more than we do. Right? Okay? At least the Bills in the 90s got to see them losing 4 straight Super Bowls. Then again, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, but here we are. But for me, I've been waiting since, one of the first pictures of me. I came out of my mama's womb and my dad was holding me in his Merino jersey. I've been waiting to see that Lombardi come back to South Florida. And I'm praying on that day and I'm hoping for that day. Really, I am. Again, over 400 of you in the room. Please smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I appreciate each and every one of you coming through. Remember, I'm going to be back. Regular schedule going on here. Wednesday, I'll be back with Richmond and ball game. For the finish line on Thursday, me and Neil will be back for Fin Too Deep. And then I'm probably going to get that Mitchell Goodyear prospect profile out this weekend. Now that I've slowed down. Oh, I have a pretty hectic weekend this weekend coming up, but we'll try and get it out this weekend. I'm almost done it. And then what else we got going on? And then I'll be live throughout the week as the news comes and as the news breaks. I appreciate each and every one of you coming out. I'll let y'all get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Have a fantastic, fantastic Monday night. Love each and every one of you. Smash that like button on the way out, please. Fins up all day, every day. I'll see y'all in the next one, guys. Have a fantastic evening. Peace out, guys.